Madam Speaker, these are very personal and emotional issues. I live around the corner from the place where Samara's son Declan was killed, and I have children the same age. I've been lucky enough to talk with Samara, and like all of you in this chamber, Samara, my heart is with you in your great loss. And I stand with you in saying that this must never happen again. But as I discussed with Samara, my concerns about these laws are that we have not had time to do our job properly and to make good law. These are highly complex changes that need to be considered properly. We don't know what the unintended consequences of these laws might be, and we don't know that these laws will have the consequences that we do want, to make all of us safe, to make sure that there are no more deaths like Declan's and like many others. As you've heard in this chamber, we've only been able to look at this bill in the last couple of days, and we've had a briefing where many of our concerns and questions could not be answered. This is serious business, the most serious business we're talking about here. I do not take it lightly, and I believe no one else in this chamber takes it lightly. And to be asked to vote on this law without having time to do our job properly is not respectful to Samara, and it's not respectful to Declan. It's not respectful to all who are affected and harmed by violent crime, and it makes me wonder, what am I doing in this chamber? We haven't got any information about the resource implications of this law and how they might be addressed, and we heard the Chief Minister this morning give some figures that there were more than 1,000 adults and almost 800 young people that this new law could impact. And we heard the Minister for Corrections say that the prisons and the watch houses are overflowing. We know people are sleeping on the floor in watch houses. Where are these people going to be held? The member for Mulca has shared examples with us of the tragic harm that holding someone in bail can do. And he's shared with us the huge extra impact these laws will have on our most vulnerable people. We're using technical terms here. When someone is remanded in custody on bail, that doesn't mean they're guilty. It means they're waiting for a trial. And in our justice system at the moment, we know that people wait sometimes years for a trial at huge cost to our community, our economy, and the individual and their family. We're facing a situation where there's a crisis in our legal system, where more and more people risk being unrepresented and in prison waiting for that trial. This bill greatly increases the potential for people to be held in prison when they're not guilty. It was wonderful to hear Minister Edgington's commitment to place-based community approaches to justice and to law and justice groups. I'm greatly looking forward to the expansion of on-country justice approaches under this government, and as we heard also from the member from Mulca, that's what we need to do to really start fixing stuff up in this place. I also note that the NT government's committed publicly to the Aboriginal Justice Agreement, and it was good to hear Minister Edgington recommit to that today. But I cannot see how this new law aligns with the commitments to the AJA. I've heard the Chief Minister say that the government's not interested in listening to experts, but in listening to people. As Jerry Wood, who many of you will know well, someone who held the government to account as an independent for almost 20 years, said to me, he said, your job, the job of the government, the job of people in Parliament is to listen to the community, but then to lead with wisdom, lead with courage, and to lead with what we know will work. I urge the government to look at the evidence and listen to the experts as well as the community, to look at the whole story and ensure that this process will not cost Territorians, send the justice system into further crisis, and potentially leave us all less safe than we were before. I'm here with all of you, with my colleagues, to make good law. I hear what the member for Drysdale said about the level of fear and violence in his community and his belief in the need for urgency, and I understand that this is urgent. I said in this chamber yesterday that I believe in taking action when action needs to be taken, but it must be the right action. I'm here with all of you to make sure that deaths like Declan's never happen again. I can't be confident that this bill does this, and given that, I cannot support it. And Speaker, I seek leave to add something from the member for Mulca. Can I do that as well?
You can ask the Parliament, seek leave to table the document.
Yes.
Do members support that?
Aye.
So that's fine.
So the member for Mulca has asked if I could add that the increase of police powers for Wanding is not appropriate on Aboriginal country. Increased powers should be given to elders and leaders to work with police, but we do not want to see an increase in police powers on Aboriginal country. Expanding these Wanding powers to all parts of the Northern Territory and into schools needs more discussion, negotiation and community consultation. This is not an issue for the police officers themselves, it's an issue with the system that continues to disempower our communities and ignore our authority on our country.
Member for Johnston, is that a motion or just a statement?
A statement.
Okay. So the chamber has accepted that you can table that, yes.
Thank you.